Hi, I'm Jay, also known as Engineezy on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, content creator. I make some mix between kinetic art and wacky engineered contraptions. Welcome to my basement. Welcome to my shop. Welcome to my tornado. I don't know what to call this place. Welcome to the laboratory. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Oh, it's been something I've been still trying to figure out exactly what to call what I do, and most of my content sort of centers around fun engineering projects that are mainly based in mechanical design. That ranges from mechanical sculptures, marble machines, things that are like waving and just silly, fun concepts, all the way to these large, intricate kinetic sculptures that say something about our society in some way, but mainly all centered around just challenging myself to see what I could do with engineering. So I never really thought that I'd be going into engineering growing up. I ended up going to school for general arts, just like had no idea what I wanted to do. And as I was looking for courses, I ended up picking physics courses and math courses. They just sounded the most interesting to me. And by the time I finished selecting all my courses for first year, there was like 2 art courses and the rest was all stuff that would work towards my engineering degree. So at that point I was like, I might as well just go into it and see what happens. But it wasn't until like 3rd year that I actually really got into it. Even up until then, I was still spent all my time like skateboarding and like playing hockey and not doing school very well. But there was 1 year where I was taking courses that was like electromechanical devices, which was like all about how motors work, and electrical devices, which is like how computers and stuff works. And I realized that there's so much that you could do with engineering. And at that point, that was where I sort of went all in. I was like, if I put as much energy into this as I do into like playing hockey or skateboarding, I could really do a lot of cool stuff with this. And that was sort of what sparked my like passion for engineering. As soon as I graduated, after like having done all these fun projects that are kind of, they don't really have a place in our corporate market world, I wanted to start basically doing what I'm doing now. I wanted to make art with engineering because I just thought it'd be like a fun way to like play with engineering, but it was just hard to like make that happen. It was like hard for me at that point with the lacking experience to figure out how to make that work. So I kind of took a step away for a while. Eventually I decided to come back and give it another shot and got a job working at a toy company as an R&D engineer. And it was really like that just like reminded me how fun engineering could be. It was very mechanical and very like intricate designs and stuff like that. So I went there hoping that I was gonna gain some experience and work with people who could teach me things. And I actually got all of exactly that. And then when COVID hit, I was now doing the exact same job, but from home. So I was running my own 3D printers at home and like tinkering at my desk. I was like working out of my parents' basement at the time. And on the side, I started making these little mechanical art pieces and posting them on Instagram. And I was getting good feedback. At the time, it's kind of funny relative to now, but at the time it was like, I'd get 50 likes on a project or like 150 views. And I was like, oh, people like this stuff. So I guess because it was COVID and I was living at my parents' house, I was like, I'm just gonna quit my job and do this full time. That was when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna make YouTube videos about me doing it and it's just gonna be easy. And that was at least how I got started. It was a little, how hard could it be? Let's just do it.
Was it harder than you thought?
Oh yeah. It's always harder than you think it's gonna be. But I think that that's like an important part for a lot of people, is to not really think too much about like the full extent of the project before you actually get started. So as like the last 4 years, I've started 4 years ago now, I didn't have any video editing skills at the time. I maybe had edited like 3 videos prior to that were like 2 minutes long. So it's just been a process of that over time. You know, my engineering skills have been improving, my video editing skills have been improving, my understanding of everything has been improving, and there's just so much to learn here. But I guess after 4 years, you can like increase your attributes on each one bit by bit. It's like kind of like a, I don't know, like I think of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, where you get to pick how much ollie you want and how much spin and flip tricks. And with each achievement, I can up a little bit of that attribute point. So it has been a big growing process. And then on top of all of that, there's like a big emotional, and I mean, I'm a self-employed entrepreneur underneath all of this, because it's just the way that this content stuff works. And so I have to self-motivate and learn to keep my emotions in check as well, as far as like business and, you know, the ups and downs of social media. And so it's been a process of learning all of that along the way. Getting the ideas is the fun part. It's like fun to just like quickly think about how you would do something. And then like sitting down to start that project, that's where the work comes in. So honestly, for me, it's still quite a grind to start an engineering project and like see it all the way through. And there's sort of like this is part of the emotional aspect that I was talking about before, where there's a little bit of like a curve where it's like you have the excitement to start a project, and so you get going, and then you quickly realize like this project's gonna be really hard, and then you end up on this like really, this is below baseline right here. You end up on this like low, kind of like really slowly improving process as you start to figure out like what I need, these are the components, you start slowly building the different pieces. I do everything in SolidWorks basically. So I start just like making like a mock-up, and then, you know, you're like, this project's stupid, and I'm gonna keep working on it because I've committed. So I'll push through that, and then like I'll sort of see a little bit of a glimmer of hope. I'll make a small prototype and it gets me excited. So I'll like give myself little hits of like motivation to keep going. But that's kind of basically every single project follows that like weird emotional trajectory, where there's almost always a point where I'm like, I'm over it, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I always push through that, and then it's always worth it. Our society romanticizes creativity, when creativity is like coming up with an idea. But once you come up with an idea, there's nothing you can do other than execute, and that takes forever. And I always kind of like look at it like an artist who's creating a painting. It's like very easy to envision that. They have the idea, they sketch it out, but then they got to spend weeks like brush stroke by brush stroke to make that painting come to life. And that's just hard work. There's nothing you can do about that. Part of the process of growing into this role as a content creator was learning how to deal with the roadblocks better. So it used to be like a lot harder. Like if I would hit a roadblock and be like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. I've kind of learned that you can sort of figure anything out as long as you just give it enough time and being patient. And so the main strategy now is just like take a step away, go for a walk, go do something, like go for a bike ride. Just do anything to get yourself out of the mindset and just trust that your subconscious brain is working on it. And it always is. So often I'll step away and then I'll come back and be like, I've got nothing. And then as soon as I sit down, it's like, oh, I know exactly how to solve this problem. And sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes it requires research or whatever. Like in engineering, like every challenge is some combination of like a bunch of fundamental things. And if you work through each of the different fundamental potential problems, you eventually get to the point where you're like, oh, okay, this is what was causing that. So every problem needs to be broken down into its subproblems, and then that can be broken down into its subproblems. And that's kind of how you tackle everything. And it does give you a lot of confidence that you can figure anything out. You just got to get to the bottom of it all and then work your way back up. Like the phrase done is way better than perfect. It's kind of been one of my mantras down here. You know, I come from a family of perfectionists, and I was a perfectionist at one point. And I realized that the more time I let something just like circle my brain because I'm too afraid to start it, it just drives me crazy. You know, when you go to sleep at night and like the same project that you've already thought through a million times is still there circling. The only way to stop that is to just make it happen. And the only way to make it happen is to not aim for perfection. I think that that's a trap that a lot of people get stuck in. And it's a trap that stops a lot of people from taking any action at all. So for me, at least, I'm always trying to just make little bits of progress and kind of commit to the process of improvement over time. It's been probably like the most important thing actually that I've learned through this whole process is like, just make it happen. Just like shut up and do it. Like Jay, just shut up and do it, you know? Whoever you are, shut up and do it. Finish your projects. Because also you're gonna learn so much more from like finishing something, even if it's not perfect, that will allow you to be even better on the next thing that you make. Rather than if you never finish it, you're not gonna learn any of the lessons that you needed to learn. And I think every project that I make, I'm like more and more impressed with how far I've come. And I think that's only a result of having finished a lot of things. Even if it's terrible, like finish it even if it sucks. So I would say like find projects that you're interested in that have nothing to do with anything. There's no money, there's no content, like whatever, and just see if you can make them happen and just build on that stuff. And like make sure it's something that's exciting to you, because that gives you this like intrinsic motivation to get it done. And that's also the best way to learn how to do things. And I think that that's probably the best advice I can give, is like find where you can be passionate within these fields, because within engineering and design, there's so many things you can do. And there's so many ways you can apply it to things that you actually really, really love. And so find those things that will allow you to get better and stronger, and hopefully allow you to do more of what you want to do in the future. I think the biggest thing that I've learned after all this time making all these projects is having an idea is the fun part, and jumping into the project is always difficult. No matter what it is, no matter how many times I've done it, going from something that doesn't exist to something that exists is a challenging thing. And I think it's a unique thing that humans are capable of doing, but it's very easy to get bogged down in how much effort it's gonna take and how long it's gonna be and what if it doesn't work out and all these questions. But the only way to really fight through all of that is to just quiet that part of your mind and just get started and make it happen. Just shut up and do it.
Shut up and do it.
Shut up and do it.